Hi, I'm Dr. Jones. Would you like to take a seat? That's splendid. Yes, please. Good. Are you comfortable? That's excellent. Great. So, do you know why you're here today? Okay, yeah, I can fill you in. So, I'm your appointed psychologist and doctor today, and I'm going to be assessing just a snippet of your personality through the ink blot test. Have you heard of this test? No? Okay. Well, you may have seen this shown more fictitiously on TV shows and movies, and you also may have seen it actually performed in real life. It's not something that's commonly done anymore. However, I like to use it to get a little bit of a feel for my patient and who they are as a person. Okay, so the test that I'm going to be doing today is the Redstone test, and this is based very heavily on the Rorschach test. It's a test that dates from the late 1800s to early 1900s, and this was used by a lot of medics and a lot of doctors to assess the personality and any potential disorders of the patients they were taking care of. Now, in modern times like today, we will not be using it for those purposes, and this is not a test to be taken completely seriously. This is something which you can use more as a test to reflect on yourself and who you are as a person. You'll find today that you'll learn a lot more about yourself than I will. So, please feel free to sit back and relax, and I will take you through the preparation for the test. Good. So I need to confirm with you that you've not seen any ink blot tests very recently. Good, okay. I only ask because those that have seen ink blot pictures from recent to the test have noticed that they are quite affected by their previous mentality towards the images, so it can be rather tempting to go back to that past event and reflect on how they felt then as opposed to now. This is a test which is very instinctive, and we encourage that you look at each image for no longer than 30 seconds apiece. Okay? Now I'd like to assure you there is absolutely no right or no wrong answer to this. This is entirely self-reflecting and just merely a little peek into your personality. Yes, that's the splendid thing about this test. So consider this more as a test to just reflect on yourself and who you are as a person. That was the original basic premise of this test after all, and Rorschach did really intend for this to be more a problem-solving based task as opposed to an analysis of who we are as people. So I'm going to try and keep this as light-hearted as I can, and I want this to just be a nice, relaxing experience for you. Yes, very good. Don't worry, this test is just simply a visualization of basically asking you questions as warm and welcoming as how are you and how's your day going. So I'm just going to be showing you the box from which I got these cards from. Alright, so as you can see in front of you, this is a typical traditional ink blot. I would encourage you not to pick this image once I ask you to pick images, as you've already seen this image, so there's a lot of instinction that can come from it already, which you may lose by the time I ask you questions about it. Okay. So this gives you an example and a basic premise of what the images will look like. Okay. Very good. Alright. So, this test is performed differently by each psychologist. In some instances, this can be tested in groups where people will split up and reflect on each other's way of looking at them. One half of the group can be asked to look at the picture upside down and one normal facing. And this can help doctors analyze exactly why people distinctively go for that perspective. And some people ask the patient to go through all 12 images provided in the booklet, and some just like to ask the patient to pick the 3 images which you like the most and talk to me about them. Now, the way I will be performing the test with you today, if this is alright with you, is I will be taking 8 to 10 cards and I will let you choose 3 of those cards. Now, on the 3 cards that you choose, I will basically tell you what that means in reflection to your personality and why you may have chosen that card. Now, when you look at the 8 to 10 cards that I give to you, all I ask is that you tell me what they look like to you. You can be as wild as you like. There's been some very interesting answers in the past, so don't feel held back or restrained. Feel free to let your mind be as creative as it needs to be for this test. Those always give you the best results. Excellent, good. So, let's start with the cards that you like the most. Alright. Now, I urge you not to look at these upside down yet. That is the second side of this test. For now, I just wish for you to choose 3 cards that you really like personally. This is the first card. And this is the second card. This is your third card. This is your fourth card. This is your fifth card. This is your sixth card. This is your seventh card. This is your eighth card. This is your ninth card. This is your 10th card. This is your 11th card. And this is your 12th card. So which 3 do you like the most? One. Okay. 6. And 12. 1, 6, and 12. Okay. and see what it says about your personality. So, this is the first card that you chose. Okay. Card number 1. It describes you as clever, secretive, worldly, and pleasure-seeking. High-octane characters who tend to focus on the material on what has profile and carries clout in the world. They are drawn to all that is young, witty, gimmicky, glamorous, and big business. Understanding their and other people's feelings is less of a priority. They have good minds and lead heightened lives. They are exciting to be with, permanently acquiring, striving, competing, and planning, and they are rarely boring. But they keep a lot hidden and are difficult to get to know. Their interest in the transient and expendable may also spill over into their relationships. Their partners may be measured against quarterly reviews, performance targets. In their most materialistic incarnations, they can embody something of the fast car, fast life approach of the archetypical young city trader. Okay. Out of card 6, have a think about what that might mean for you. Card 6. Powerful, single-minded, charming, and mysterious. Robust, imposing, charismatic individuals who tend to dominate situations. Born leaders, their instinct is always to take the initiative. They will step up, drive the bus, put in the funding application. They will do whatever is required, and in all likelihood do it very well. Staunchly loyal and kind-hearted, they make excellent friends and in general are good people to have on one's side and in one's life. Never less than empathetically clear and decisive in what they say and do, those close to them may encounter a streak of stubborn inflexibility or, more profoundly, unresolved internal conflicts. They prefer not to talk about difficult feelings or dark aspects to their motivation, which often are the source of much of their drive and appetite. They are much happier people if people take them as they are. So like I said before, please take this test with a little pinch of salt. These are merely the reflections of a booklet. So, you, of course, know yourself better than anyone, but this is just to heighten your awareness of your personality. So, your final card was card 12. Engaging, invigorating, wary, and introspective. Stimulating, engaging personalities who have a great deal to offer, a very rich inner life, thoughtful minds, good imaginations, and yet feel very uncomfortable when they are in anything resembling the spotlight. This may stem from expectations placed on them in childhood. If they have repeatedly been told they'll achieve amazing things, they may at a certain point have developed an aversion to certain sorts of attention and feel the need to tread very carefully to avoid awkward situations. In some cases, this may transform itself into an escape reflex that makes them withdraw to somewhere relatively dark inside themselves, a form of inversion that can frustrate those close to them. Nevertheless, there will never be any shortage of people who feel connected with them, and want to be more so because they are essentially high, invigorating souls. Okay, so that is all my references to the book complete, along with phase 1 of the test. How do you feel about that? How can you respond to that? Do you feel comfortable with that? Yes, it can be very overwhelming to be basically summarized through words on a page. Like I said, you know you better than anybody else. Is there anything that you can agree with anything that I've told you? Oh, you really agree with that one? Good, 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 good. Yes. Well, that's good. That's very good. And you were surprised by that? I see. Well, that's good. Surprise is very good in these tests. Good. Alright. So, now, I'm going to remove 1, 6, 12, and the example card from these. And we're going to move on to the observation test. Now, in this test, I'm going to be turning the card in a circle. And I'm going to give you no longer than 30 seconds on each card. And I want you to tell me what it looks like to you. And like I said before, feel free to be as interested in it as you wish. Now, believe it or not, actually not seeing anything in the card can also reflect a lot about your personality. So don't shy away if you feel like you don't see anything in the card. Okay, just removing the final card. Okay. So, this may seem rushed, but I promise this is not stressful on the mind. I personally like to give as minimal cards as I can so that the mind is not overwhelmed with images. It's always good to focus in snapshots. Okay, so I'm going to show you the first image. I'm going to turn it, and if you see something more prominently facing straight or upside down, let me know, and I will attempt to match it up with the one that is closest to your summarization. Okay, so here is the card, and I'm going to very, very quickly turn it around. See how the perspective can completely change. Interesting, isn't it? Okay, and now I'm going to remove the card. So, tell me what you see in this image. Interesting. Okay. Okay, so you see an animal when it's flipped upside down. Good. So the response there to that would then be, you have something of the thoroughbred about you, in that you are capable of excellence and perhaps have been groomed for it, but struggle to acknowledge that things don't have to be perfect the whole time. It's hard for you to adopt a Zen attitude, reminding yourself, for instance, that people won't love you any the less if you don't climb Mount Everest on a daily basis. It's quite a nice summary. Okay. And the next card I want to show you. Okay. Just let your eyes focus, grab the attention of the card, and I'm going to turn it around fairly swiftly. Like I said, work on your instincts. Go for what is most comfortable for you. Very good. Good, good. Alright, what do we see from that image? I see that too. I do see that too. So you see a clown, okay? Okay, with a little bit of distortion on the nose. Alright. No one could call you a recluse because you're social and seek out company, but you do have aloof tendencies. Some acerbic struggle seems to be boiling away under the surface. You can find yourself keeping people at a distance almost instinctively, a habit that will cause your friends concern. After all, only God has the right to solitude, as they say in Turkey. Okay, like the other card, just have a little bit of reflection on that. Like I said before, you don't have to relate at all to the cards. There are some that just really can help summarize a person and help figure some things out about you that you may not have known before. Alright, next card. It's your third one now. Okay, Very interesting, lots of colours. Okay, I'm going to turn this. Now remember, you can pick certain quadrants of the card. You can focus on it upside down. It's entirely up to you. What do you feel most comfortable with? Okay. And now I'm going to remove the card. Okay. So, do you have anything that you see or you'd like to tell me about the card? Okay, you felt a little bit of unease. Alright. I am very sorry about that, but it's good that it's opening up your emotions, which is very good. Okay. The closest one I would say to that is probably the dentist or barber's chair. I know it's not quite what you were thinking, but it's a little similar, and it's the closest one I can use to provide an answer. You are sensitive and generous, a combination that ensures you get a lot out of life and take it painfully to heart in equal measure. Given the transparency of your feelings, people often want to look after you, which can occasionally confuse your understanding of intimacy. Very formal, conventional environments drain you. You would not thrive in the New England setting the artist C. Twombly grew up in. Quote, "Once I said to my mother, you would be happy if I just kept well dressed and had good manners. And she said, what else is that?" Okay, and now on to your fourth immediate card. Okay. Now remember, you can tell me to stop at any point on the card. Alright. Okay, so how do you feel about this particular card? Okay. An X-ray, okay, of the chest, maybe the lungs, okay. Things are welling up inside you that you want to express, but all things considered, you'd prefer to suffer in silence and not rock the boat. You find it hard to say no in general. It's always easier to say yes, as the German artist Thomas Schut had pointed out, because you don't have to explain a yes. That makes perfect sense. Okay. Now I'm going to move on to the fifth card. Okay. Focus. Okay. And turning it. Okay. Very good. Very good. Alright. Okay. Okay, yes, I can see that. Let's see what it says about that. You have a sense of stored potential, of putting an enormous amount into life and yet still waiting for it to start. Your idea of how things should be, who you should be with, what you should be doing is very vivid. And if reality falls short of expectations, your considerable achievements provide little consolation. Interesting, very interesting. Okay, so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. We have 3 to go. So, again, have a look at the card for me. Tell me what you think. Okay, you have an answer. That's great. Good. So, what do you think it's like? Okay. Okay. Okay, like a cat then? Alright, let's have a look and see what it says. You like to get stuck in and work things out as they come up, hence your loud, tempestuous side. It is very important for you to be listened to feel someone is on your side. Negotiation and conflict are facts of life as far as you're concerned, so although you are not abrasive at heart, you can come across that way. You can sometimes remind people of the old joke, how many New York cab drivers does it take to change a light bulb? What's it do you? Alright. And 2 more for you. Let's have a look at the card. Okay, again, very striking image. And now let's turn the card for you. Alright. You have an answer? That's excellent. Okay. So what do you see? A pair of parrots. Okay. You are extremely talented in a variety of ways which could be overwhelming, but you're disciplined and try as far as possible to follow J.G. Ballard's dictum. My advice to anyone in any field is be faithful to your obsessions. Identify them and be faithful to them. Let them guide you like a sleepwalker. That's a very nice summary. And last but not least, your final card is this. You've been doing excellent so far, and your mind seems completely wondrous and a very exciting thing to analyze. Alright. Okay, you see flowers, alright? Let's talk about that then. Nature may abhor a vacuum, but you seem to even more. Rather than being in the moment, concentrating on what you need, with all the vulnerability that entails, you find it easier to give others as many reasons as possible not to be able to live without you. The Chinese proverb, keep a green tree in your heart, and perhaps a singing bird will come, tends to fall on deaf ears in your case. Okay, so it appears that the cards today have said a lot about your personality. Can you agree or reflect or even disagree with anything that the cards have said today? Good, good. Yeah? Yes, sometimes the cards can help us look at past events and help us remember who we were and how those past versions of ourselves helped shape the people we are today. Yes. Yes, very good, very good. So is there anything that you would like to ask me? Do you have any questions? No? Okay. Are you satisfied with the results that you have had today? That's great. That's exactly what I like to hear. So, is there any more that I can help you with today? Okay. Well, I'm very glad that you enjoyed it. Yes, feel free to take the test online if you would like. I would encourage you, like I said before, to try and balance out when you do though, so that you're not reminded of a past experience you shared with the ink blot test, so that you can't perhaps remember your answer. Because as we grow as people, the way we see the world changes every day. So if you'd like to space out when you take the test, or feel free to come and see me in 12 months, I would happy to either encourage that or for you to come see me. Yes, that's great. I would love to see you in 12 months' time. I'm very fascinated to see how your mind and personality will change then. Perhaps they might stay the same. You do seem like a wonderful person. That's great. I'm so glad I could be of help to you today. You can feel free to purchase this if you wish, or I can give you a couple of test cards. No? Okay, I understand. Well, thank you so much. You've been a fantastic patient today, and I wish you a beautiful day. Great, thanks for coming in, and maybe I'll see you soon. Alrighty, you have a great